Hey, Taco here again, talking a little bit about my journey into powered paragliding and trying to find instruction. So I bought the Powered Paragliding Bible, and so I read through there, and one of the big things they talk about, and the people in the Facebook groups will talk about, is you got to have instruction. Even though it's an ultralight, you don't need a pilot's license, and there's no regulation as far as getting licensed. That you still need instructions so you don't wind up going splat on the ground. And I really want to avoid going splat on the ground. However, I did things a little bit wrong. I jumped into things, which is something I tend to do sometimes. First thing I did was I went on the internet and I found the U.S. Powered Paraglider Association. I think it's PPA or PPGA, something like that. And looked around my state and figured out, okay, where are some powered paraglider instructors? And then I talked to a couple, and I found one near me, and talked about equipment and motors and wings and instruction and things for a good long while. And essentially, I booked an intro class. Well, that was before I realized how powered paragliding instruction differs from general aviation instruction. And I'm out here in the she shed because it's thunderstorming and I have pneumonia and I can't be in the woods making a video. So years and years ago, I took helicopter lessons, and I've taken a few airplane flights too, in small, like Cessnas and things like that. And in general aviation, when you sign up to take flight instruction, there's an agreed upon price per hour, and you know it's going to take you 40 hours or so to finish the thing and get your check ride and get your basic pilot's license. But what they charge you by the hour, so it's like, okay, well, you got to do 10 hours of ground school or whatever it is at $50 an hour. You have to fly the plane for X number of hours at $100 an hour, whatever the rules are about general aviation. I don't remember anymore. But it's a set rate per hour, and so you go out to the airport, you spend 4 hours out of the airport, an hour in ground school, and 3 hours flying around and messing with the plane. Okay, great. And then you pay them at the end of the day, and that's it. And if you decide to quit halfway through, you know what? This really isn't for me. I can't afford it. The spouse is telling me no, or whatever, and you just drop out. That's it. You've paid for what you did, but you haven't paid for everything up front. Unfortunately, what I found is a lot of powered paragliding instruction isn't based on that model at all. It's based on, hey, we're going to have this class, and it's $2,000, $2,500, $3,000. It's 7, 10, 14 days long, and we expect you to pay the whole thing up front and then come out and do this 2-week boot camp. And that's really not what I was looking for at all. And it was a real turnoff to me. In fact, I was going to take the intro flight, or not intro flight, but intro class about, showing you all the equipment, and then learning how to kite the wing up over your head. And then that was it. I was going to do the rest on my own. It pissed me off so bad that everybody just seemed to be like, I want your $2,000, or I want your $3,000, and you better come spend a week with me. But if you can't, then you have to have it done within 90 days, or we're going to charge you an extra $200 a trip. It seemed like a money grab to me. And I was venting on Facebook on one of the Paramotor groups about how it didn't seem fair, or didn't seem right compared to general aviation. And finally, one flight school spoke up and says, "You want to come train by the day? We do it. It's $200, $250 a day, whatever it is. You come out, you take a day of training, and you go home. And if you have your equipment, you want to practice running around the ground or whatever, come back in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, and take another day of training, and we'll get you. You can do that until you want to fly, or until the instructors feel like they're comfortable with you flying." And so that's what I really wanted. I'm not going to pay $2,500, $3,000 and have to go stay somewhere for 2 weeks, in and out, and just boot camp style it. That's just not for me. So I was glad to see, for people like me that can't afford to take a week or 2 weeks off of work and all at once, and be gone from the spouse for a week. I was glad to see that there are flight schools out there that are willing to work with people who want alternative schedules or who want to pay by the day. So shout out to Pinnacle Paramotor in North Carolina for that. Mark and Brooks are going to help me out in my piloting up in North Carolina. So I'm looking really forward to that. And so that's my instructional journey, learning all about how instruction works, kind of the basics from nothing to being able to do your first solos. So Thanks a lot.